Thank you. Please be seated. Your Excellency, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Honorable Minister Zulfikar Ali, Minister of Public Service, Government Efficiency and Implementation, and other members of the Cabinet, permanent secretaries, heads of agencies and departments, regional officials, Mr. Zach Rule, Vice President of Coursera, and other team members, Mateo, Chad, and Ruben, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Saif Hassan, Coordinator of the Guyana Coursera Program, colleagues from across the public service, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, good morning and happy Monday. Welcome to the launching of the Ministry of Public Service Upskilling platform here at the Arthur Chung Conference Center. How are we feeling this morning? Are we ready to take another leap into a smarter, a sharper, and a future public service? Can we give ourselves a round of applause? I know it's a little chilly, rainy Monday morning and all. But we're going to warm up because in partnership with Coursera, this bold new platform will empower our public servants across Guyana, from Georgetown to the farthest hinterland areas. We are going to receive world-class, on-demand training. The Ministry of Public Service is redefining professional growth, and we're going to hear today that online learning, it isn't just for the future. It isn't 2030. It is present, and we are owning it. So to tell us more about the impact of the extension of this initiative, please welcome Mr. Mateo Samper, Coursera Director for Latin America and the Caribbean, together with Saif Hassan, Coordinator of the Guyana Coursera Program, and they are going to give to us the MPS presentation at this time. Please give them a round of applause.
Well, good morning, everyone. Your Excellency, President Irfan Ali, Honorable Minister Zulfikar Ali, distinguished ministers, distinguished guests, members of the diplomatic community, and distinguished also servers of the public sector, public servant. I was once also a public servant in my home country in Colombia. It's just such a pleasure to be here. I've been coming to Guyana for over 5 years now, around maybe 2-3 times per year. And I'm always struck by the energy of the country and the sheer pace of its transformation. You see it everywhere, obviously. I mean, I as a tourist of sorts, I come here and I've seen highways get built. I've seen many new roads. I've seen hotels, hospitals, restaurants, and of course, you know, I saw yesterday coming from the airport the new Demerara Bridge, and wow, I have to say that's an impressive bridge. So congratulations on that. Now, you know, that is all the physical transformation. You know, that it's obvious to see. It's obvious for anyone to know how the country is transforming. Less obvious, perhaps, is the digital transformation and the human capital transformation, which really underpins you know, I would say they are as monumental as the Demerara Bridge in a sense, because they underpin the transformation of the country. And that's what we're here to talk about today. And that's why it's so important, this new academy or upskilling platform that it's being launched for you guys to take advantage for. So I'll talk a little bit about why the digital transformation is so important, and I'll focus on Digital Guyana, which really captures the essence of this digital transformation. As you can see in this chart that I'm showing, technology is just changing so fast these days. And we have a really cool vision here of the technology adoption curve. And we laid out some technologies and how much time has it taken for these technologies to be consumed, let's say, by 100 million people. That was the metric. And if you see in the chart, it took electricity 70 years to be used by 100 million people. The car, 60 years. The mobile, which we all have nowadays, it took 16. Internet, it was 7 years. And ChatGPT took 2 months, okay? So when ChatGPT launched in 22, it took ChatGPT 2 months to get 100 million users worldwide. Okay, so that speaks volumes about how fast technology changes, evolves, and obviously that has implications because the faster technology changes, the faster we need to change. We need to learn, we need to adapt, and we, as in me personally, as well as organizations, as well as governments, and as well as corporations. In fact, we also have in the slide statistics from the World Economic Forum, the Future of Jobs report, that said that 39 of key skills will change in the next 5 years, thanks in part to generative AI or generative artificial intelligence. So, sorry, let's focus a little bit about the implications for Digital Guyana and why, the why, right? The why is always very important. The why this new upskilling platform. I'll start by saying that AI isn't just tech. It's really an economic engine. I mean, tech is just not tech. Tech really helps governments, corporations, and humans advance faster, be more productive, right? So a new study by PwC recently released about governments specifically said that they thought that governments adopting AI could increase GDP by up to 4%, and that's on top of the already impressive growth in Guyana. It could boost public sector productivity by up to 3%, and it could reduce fiscal deficits by up to 22%. This is the return of investment of Digital Guyana. This is the why, I would say, of the public service upskilling platform. This is why it's so important. These massive economic gains don't come from just buying software. And we work across the globe at Coursera with different governments. And this is something that I never get tired of saying. Technology on its own doesn't change anything. Digital Guyana has a lot of technology behind it, but on its own, it won't do anything. Technology needs people. Technology needs to be leveraged, be used correctly to be able to gain all these gains. And that's what the upskilling platform will do for you. And we're hoping that it will serve for the public servants to be able to leverage this technology. See?
Thank you, Mateo. Good morning, all observing all protocols. This administration has spoken extensively about the need to build a digital Guyana. And what that means is leveraging the tools and technology in front of us to build a more modern state. That means building a government that is more responsive, efficient, and faster. They can more quickly react to the needs of the people. The quality of services improves, not just with speed, but their ability and capacity to answer questions, mitigate issues immediately. In the short to medium term, government has earmarked several key services for digitization. Just to name a few, this includes a unified portal that enables citizens to apply for birth certificates, passports, and driver's licenses. Again, just to name a few. Government also wants to introduce AskGov, an entirely AI-powered tool that can answer all government queries and solve problems with limited human intervention. However, as my colleague Mateo said, digitization is just a tool, it's an approach, but how do we manifest it? How do we make it a reality? To do so, we need skills. We need certain essential skills. And if Digital Guyana is to be realized, we need to upskill public servants. We are the people who can design, operate, protect, and explain these digital systems to the wider public. Now, some skills are obvious when trying to build a Digital Guyana. These would include technical skills like data literacy, so we understand how to use these tools. It includes cybersecurity, so that we're able to protect citizens' data. And it also includes data analysis, so that we're able to make evidence-based decisions. But equally as important are the soft skills, customer service, so that the wider citizens feel welcome, listened to, and heard. It includes change management so that we're able to adapt as technology evolves. So all these skills are incredibly useful. It merges the technical, the traditional, the soft skills, everything we must treat equally. So we've spoken a little bit this morning about building these modern skill sets that includes a lot of the traditional skills that each public servant needs. In doing so, I want to draw your attention to a short video to show you the program that we're here today to launch. This program supports the development of these modern skill sets, and it helps to build what we would like to think is a complete public servant. So without further ado, please, this is the launch of the Public Service Upskilling Platform.
Welcome to the Government of Guyana's Public Service Upskilling Platform, a transformative program powered by Coursera and led by the Ministry of Public Service, Government Efficiency and Implementation. The Ministry is partnering with Coursera to provide courses aimed at upskilling public servants in line with national development goals. This initiative seeks to enhance job performance and modernize the public sector for greater efficiency. In keeping with the government's aim for continuous capacity development across the public sector, this initiative will provide free and continuous learning to public servants across the various regions of Guyana. As we advance deeper into the digital age, it's crucial for our public sector to evolve alongside it. These courses are crafted to keep our workforce in sync with contemporary developments, giving us a competitive edge globally. These courses are self-paced with certificates awarded at completion. These courses will include, but are not limited to, foreign languages, beginner to advanced Microsoft Excel, project management, and web development. To register, visit the Ministry of Public Service Government Efficiency and Implementation's website or scan the QR code below to access the registration form. For further information, queries, or feedback on this program, please contact info.coursera@mps.gov.gy.
Coursera help desk as you leave, so you can register immediately if you're so moved. Of course, the idea, there's just a few of us in the room, it is going to have that ripple effect as you take it back to your respective offices. As we continue to reskill and upskill, and as we heard from Mateo, Digital Guyana is going to be vital because 39% of skills will change because the world is changing faster than we can even keep up sometimes. But we continue with the launch here. This is the launch of the Guyana Public Service Upskilling Platform at the Arthur Chan Conference Center. And just glancing around the room, we can see our leaders who are driving innovation in both education and governance. And so we can see how this launch is coming at a very timely point. So at this point, we are now going to hear from Vice President of Coursera, Mr. Zach Rule, and he is going to give us reflections on how Coursera and Guyana, how we are building out perhaps one of the most inclusive upskilling ecosystems in this part of the world. So please welcome Mr. Zach Rule, Vice President of Coursera.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Honorable President Irhan Ali, Honorable Minister Zulfikar Ali, other ministers, distinguished guests, and members of the public service, thank you for having me today. It's an honor to be here. This is my first trip to Guyana, but in a short time that I have been here, I've already seen a lot of the ambition of the people. As I was driving in from the airport yesterday, besides learning that I need to try Banks beer, which I hear is very good, I was speaking with the gentleman who was driving, and he was very passionate about bringing more manufacturing capability to Guyana. And he was also a Coursera learner, having taken a supply chain management professional certificate. And it was really inspiring to hear his vision and what he wants to do to help the Guyana citizens and his own outcomes within the country. So on behalf of Coursera, I want to express our deep gratitude for this partnership And what is happening in Guyana is not just a regional success story, it is a blueprint for national transformation. And our journey from Coursera with Guyana started in a very different time. It was in 2020 during the global pandemic. And at that time, Coursera launched the National Program for Workforce Recovery, which provided free education to citizens and individuals throughout the world as part of the global pandemic. And with the very strong work of the Commonwealth of Learning and the Ministry of Education, we had incredible results right out of the gate. In the first 10 days of the program launching, over 15,000 enrollments by Guywanese citizens occurred. And that was really just the start of this initial program. At the end of that program, 36,000 Guywanese citizens had learned new skills, almost 200,000 course enrollments occurred, and over 50,000 professional certificates were issued in fields such as business, technology, and data science. And that really began a much deeper and targeted partnership that has evolved over the last few years, working with the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, an incredible program with the Women's Innovation and Investment Network, WIN, where we helped play a part from the technology side of really upskilling many women and providing more financial independence. The working closely with the Office of the Prime Minister, as well as the Minister of Public Affairs, Ministry of Public Affairs, and the Ministry of Health. I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Frank Anthony just earlier today, and it's been amazing to see how many of the student nurses and others in the healthcare profession have touched Coursera, and we've played a part in augmenting their education. So this initial success really culminated about a year and a half ago with the Guyana Coursera National Training Initiative, launched by President Ali, and through programs like GOAL, Guyana Online Academy of Learning, significant results have been delivered. An additional almost 300,000 course enrollments by Guyanese citizens, and 100,000 additional certificates have been issued. And it is some of this history that I'm proud to announce the following today. So at Coursera, on an annual basis, we work with governments across the globe. And in Latin America and the Caribbean, we have an award for our regional talent transformation. And this award is given to the government that systematically is upskilling its people to drive economic growth and individual opportunity. And I'm very proud to announce that last month in Mexico, we announced Guyana is the winner of this award, and I look forward to sharing the physical award as well. And then finally, as we transition today to the public service upskilling program, it really is the vision and leadership of so many of you all in this room that provide the opportunity for further growth and skill transformation, and really providing that leadership. As Mateo and others have mentioned, it is not just technology. It is the work of everybody to provide the impactful programs, to market those programs, to show the success of those programs that really drives the results. And the rate of transformation is only increasing, as we all know. Skills and technologies like generative AI are changing things so quickly. I think of a particular government, we work a lot with Singapore. And in the last 5 years, they have done a tremendous investment into their public service and their government employees around driving more efficiencies. And some of their results as it relates to digital literacy and driving efficiency at the government are truly astounding. And that's why we're so excited to see this additional program launch. It really can have tremendous impact. And I would say that as we work with governments throughout the world, it is not just a training initiative. It really is critical infrastructure for the country to have the ability to engage and learn these very important skills moving forward. So in playing our small part of supporting Digital Guyana, we are very honored to be a part of that. We look forward to continuing our multi-year partnership with Guyana, and thank you all very much for the time today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rule. And I know we just got a glimpse of the award. We will formally hand over that award a little later in the program. But you know, we couldn't launch this event this morning without also extending our heartiest congratulations to our teachers who recently graduated from CPC, teachers from across all regions of Guyana, because trained educators are the backbone of a strong education system, and 100% trained teachers, that's indeed where we are heading. And also, what a moment for Guyana we had recently, once again shining bright on the regional stage. Mahisa Buru and Sarah Khan from QC topping both CSEC and CAPE regionally. And overall, we gained 60 top places overall. So congratulations to our students, our teachers, and all the schools involved. Indeed, you're making Guyana proud and setting a standard for the Caribbean. So as we continue with the launch now, to reaffirm this national commitment to service and innovation, at this time, we welcome for his presentation our newly minted Minister, the Honorable Zulfikar Ali, Minister of Public Service, Government Efficiency and Implementation, who has truly hit the ground running.
Thank you, Michelle. Good morning, everyone. Your Excellency, President Mohammed Irfan Ali, fellow members of the Cabinet, members of the Diplomatic Corps, our distinguished public servants. Undoubtedly, as public servants, each of us sitting in this room today is aware of, and in many ways, contributing to the remarkable changes we are experiencing in Guyana, led by our President, Dr. Irfan Ali. However, the world around us is also changing at a pace that requires countries like ours to either adapt or risk being left behind for another few decades. The skills that were valuable yesterday are quickly being replaced by the skills we need for tomorrow. And as a government, we have a choice. We can either be swept away by this tide of change, or we can build a ship that allows us to navigate it. Our President, Dr. Ali, has laid out a clear and ambitious vision for our nation. In that vision is a modern, prosperous, and efficient public service. He has articulated, and I quote, "Our commitment is building a modern state where technology makes public service faster, more accessible, and more responsive." This isn't just a slogan. It is a concrete national objective. To realize this transformation and the vision of President Ali and the People's Progressive Party government, the culture of public service, and indeed, public servants, must change. We must be nimble. We must be ready to adapt to the latest trends, to capitalize on the technologies in front of us, to not only serve the people of Guyana in a dignified and respectable manner, but also to make our own jobs easier. To do this, we must be willing to learn, unlearn, and relearn. This government recognizes that human capital development is the driving force behind long-term development. To this end, President Ali and his government has allocated over $600 billion over the last 5 years to minimize gaps in educational coverage, to make learning accessible to everyone. To effectively minimize these gaps, government has embraced the role of technology in education and the workforce. For example, let's look no further than the success of the GOAL program, launched under the People's Progressive Party government, where more than 39,000 online scholarships were awarded to students all across the country, from the certificate level to the PhD level. Approximately 72% of scholarships through this program were awarded to females, and I want to congratulate everyone for taking up these opportunities. In 2025, you would recall that President Ali unveiled the Guyana Digital School, an initiative that will revolutionize access to education, not just in Guyana, but across the Caribbean, ensuring that the successes we make in our education sector is also shared with our brothers and sisters in CARICOM. To emphasize how serious this current administration is committed to removing barriers to the access to education, President Ali in October last year abolished tuition fees for all programs at Guyana's primary tertiary institution, the University of Guyana, benefiting in excess of 11,000 current students and for all new students going forward. These measures are by no means small. We should stop and appreciate the lives that it has changed and continues to change through forward-thinking, planning, and execution. We should also not forget the partnership between the Government of Guyana and Coursera, and the critical function it serves in helping Guyanese uplift and upskill themselves with the tools that are made available to them today. You would recall in March of 2024, President Ali officially launched the Guyana Coursera National Training Initiative, a national program with a clear mission to provide free access to world-class skills training for every Guyanese citizen. As we speak here today, every Guyanese citizen can access free training on Coursera if they visit the Ministry of Public Service, Government Efficiency and Implementation website and get registered. It is our government's belief that Coursera is best utilized through guided learning. That's why several government agencies have created their own training programs using Coursera to train staff and external stakeholders. For instance, the Ministry of Health has leveraged Coursera to create custom-built courses on the platform to train nurses and nursing assistants, while the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security has used it as a key component in their WIN training program. Thus far, the results have been tremendous. Since this national partnership was launched in 2024, more than 97,000 courses have been completed across all of the current programs. Which brings us to today. To make digital Guyana a reality, we must empower the people who make government work, our public servants. My ministry now carries the title of Government Efficiency and Implementation. That is not just a name. It is a mandate from His Excellency. But efficiency and implementation are not abstract concepts. They are the direct result of having a workforce that is skilled, capable, motivated, and empowered to realize the dreams and aspirations of the people of Guyana. We cannot build a digital government without a digitally skilled public service. We cannot implement complex national projects without world-class project managers. We cannot be responsive to citizens without first-rate customer service. That is why, as a government, we are proud to officially launch our new public service upskilling platform in partnership with a global leader in online education, Coursera. This program is your new toolkit. It is our investment in you. This is not a typical training program. We have designed this for the reality of your busy lives. You can learn anytime, anywhere, right on your desktop, your tablet, or your smartphone, whether you are on a break, At home or traveling, your classroom is with you. We need new skills across the board. With this platform, you can master key critical skills to become more effective in your daily work. If you have dreams of leading a project, you can learn the Google Project Management Professional Certificate, a credential recognized by companies and governments around the world. If you wish to start learning a new language, this program will have several beginner courses in foreign languages, such as Spanish, Mandarin, Korean, and Arabic, vital languages that can enhance a public servant's competitiveness and versatility. I had the privilege only recently to accompany President Ali to Saudi Arabia. You should imagine yourself accompanying the president or representing your country and being in a position to at least communicate in the native language of those countries. All of this being brought to you free of cost by the People's Progressive Party government. I want to be very clear today. This program is about more than just your current jobs. This is about your personal growth. This is your opportunity for self-development. For every course you complete, for every specialization you master, you will earn a certificate. These certificates are your credentials. They are proof of your new skills and a ticket to your advancement in your respective careers. And I want to state this plainly. These certifications can and will be tied to your professional development, your advancement, and your promotions within the public service. We are building a modern merit-based public service where skill, dedication, and a commitment to growth are rewarded. As you become more skilled in data analysis, in cybersecurity, or in project management, our entire public service becomes more efficient, more innovative, and better at implementation. And at this point, I want to also let you know that the ministry, my ministry, will soon be going digitally. You will not be able to communicate with my ministry by sending letters. You will have to do so online. So it will be important for you to participate and to enroll in all of the training programs, the digital training programs that these courses offer. As I said earlier, the president has been very clear about where he sees the public service. And we are going to go there. So you don't want to be left behind. Very soon, we'll be launching the app, and you will be communicating across government through digital dashboards and applications. President Ali has set the vision. Today, we are giving you the tools to build that vision he has set. This platform is our commitment to you. It is an investment in our greatest asset, our people. I invite every one of you from every ministry and every region to join this transformation, to sign up, to learn, to earn those certifications, and to lead. Get started today. Let's build a modern, efficient Guyana together. As I close, I want to thank my colleagues in Cabinet for the support that they have given to the digitization of government. I want to thank also Minister Parag and Minister Ashni Singh for the work that they have done to get us where we are today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister Ali. He mentioned a moment ago that it's going to be so flexible that we could study in the evenings, in the mornings, during a break, in traffic. No, he didn't say traffic, but I'm sure we could use that opportunity as well. Experience from having done the GOAL program, Professor Opadeo, even sleeping sometimes, it helps to have a recording of one of the lectures. So it's that flexible. But indeed, we certainly want to encourage everyone. By a show of hands in the room, how many of us have done any kind of upskilling in the last, 5 years or so? I'm giving a wide space for us to admit. And we're so digital, right? We can match your raising your hands with the QR codes. We'll know that you are being honest with us. But indeed, the opportunities are so many. Our week has gotten off to an amazing start as we dream about a more professional being, as in yourselves, as we contribute to Guyana. But even as we hear of all of that, sometimes we say, well, change is not easy. And it means that we've got to confront some of the complacencies that we have adopted over the years that perhaps has dulled our own drive for betterment and demand better when we engage with our colleagues in the public service. But as we've heard from Minister Ali, from our Corsair team members, there is going to be a renewed focus, training, and leadership that is changing. And we've got no choice but to jump on board with that. A new modern public service that's taking shape, and one that will call for efficiency, accountability, and excellence. Words that we hear all the time as we now invite His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, for the feature address this morning.
Thank you very much, please. Yeah, thank you very much. Please have your seats, yes. I think you have heard a lot already. I just want to make an initial observation, and that, Michelle, this is no longer about change. That's an old tool, an old jargon that we had to adopt to. Change is an only necessary constant in life. But things has moved so rapidly around the world that it's no longer about change. Adopting this new way of life is about survival. If we don't do it as a nation and at the scale that is necessary, we will not survive in this modern, new world. What we're doing today is not launching or relaunching a program. What we're talking about today is an agile, results-driven, accountable public service, backed by skilled human capital and technology. That is what we're building. We are building the revolution of the future in the public service. We are building the human capital that would ignite the future of Guyana, that would leapfrog the future of Guyana in public service. We are building the best public service and public servants for the future. That is what we are doing. This is no easy task or extraordinary task. Recently I said that we want everyone to have their own bank accounts so that we can move your cash grants, we can move your benefits, we can have NIS, everything. Because that is what the public service is going to do. It's going to integrate every single activity. Not to lock you out, but you have the decision to make. After that, don't complain. You can still go and join the long lines in the sun. You can still go and wait and waste productive time and your resources to conduct your transaction. Or you can make it easy, and we are making it easier. We have met with the banking sector. We have outlined the conditions for opening bank accounts. We have simplified it. You can do it online. It is just easy now. I've met a number of persons recently who had experience, ordinary persons, market vendors and so, who had the experience of opening a new bank account. And they did so within 1 hour, with a new system. We are removing the burdens in the system to make it more efficient and more efficient and reliable. That is what we want to do. So today I'm delighted to join all of you to be part of the launch of this training initiative. the Coursera Public Service Development courses. And let us applaud the Ministry of Public Service, Implementation, and Efficiency. Let me also take this time to acknowledge the foundational work of Sonia and Ashley in building out the platform through which we are advancing today. I want to say that this initiative will become a foundational pillar of the new public service that we are fashioning. And what is that foundational pillar? And what is it based on? Sometimes, as government, we need people to understand the direction we're going into and not necessarily what is driving that direction. You see, competition, those who follow the direction are always going to be the last batch in the race. So many times you hear we are following the direction. We are following the innovation. But why can't we be part of the innovation? Why can't we be ahead of the innovation? Why can't we be the ones who are leading? And that is because our human capacity and capability has not been taught to lead. We have been taught to follow processes, follow system, to follow direction. Today, I want the Guyana human capital to lead processes, to lead system. And that is why we are building here, we are building the human capacity and capability at a national scale. But more importantly than building this human capacity and capability at this national scale is finding our own solutions. And in the next 3 to 4 weeks, you will see a series of apps being launched that we are building ourselves, that we are trusting our young people, our brain power, our technical capability. We are trusting them to build it ourselves, to drive this future, building it out ourselves to meet our demands, our requirements, our priorities, and lead a regional revolution in what we do. That is what we're pushing towards. The world is changing and changing faster than ever. The first industrial revolution took nearly a century to unfold, powered by steam and steel. The second, built on electricity and mass production, came faster. The third, with computers and automation, arrived within decades. You saw the slide earlier. And now, the fourth industrial revolution, driven by artificial intelligence, data analytics, robotics, and biotechnology, is transforming the way we live, work, and think in a matter of years and months. A society can leapfrog into the future within months. What took decades can now take months. You know, we have recently visited the Middle East. And many people, when they hear about Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, they think about oil and gas. That is not the future they're building. You will be shocked. They're building a future that is completely different. From the sands and the desert, rising the best tourism, nature tourism, planting mangrove on sand, and building out a digital infrastructure that will leapfrog them 60 years ahead of time. That is why tomorrow and the next day we are talking about how we're going to use our energy. Not to follow anymore, but to be part of that global leadership. To invest, and I want to make it clear, we're going to invest in things that are going to generate future jobs, that are going to expand the economy. I am not I'm not in a mood that we must just package and ship. We have to add value. We have to create a value stream in this country. And when you look at what's happening globally, these are some of the things that are really shaking the world. So the gap between revolution has shrunk, and the pace of change has definitely accelerated. The world is moving faster than ever before, so we must ask ourselves, are we ready to keep up? Can a public service designed for the analog world deliver in a digital age? These are real questions. Can we meet the demands of citizens who expect immediacy, transparency, and efficiency? The answer lies in upskilling. It lies in preparing our workforce not only to manage change, but to lead it. Our goal is clear: to make the public service fit for purpose in this new Guyana that we're building. A modern public service will not only simplify process paperwork, it will solve problems. The public service is not a paper-pushing machine. It is a problem-solving machine. It's an implementation machine. It is the machine that gives meaning to public policy. It is the machine that gives meaning to policy that create an environment to drive results and to drive productivity and progress. And that is what we have to understand. It will not hide behind bureaucracy. It will embrace innovation. It will not delay. It will deliver. And that is why I've appointed a Minister of Public Service Efficiency and Implementation. The title is deliberate because words matter. It underscores 3 priorities: service to the people with empathy and professionalism, efficiency in how we use time, talent, and technology, and implementation, because plans mean nothing without execution, on time and on budget. The ministry is charged with transforming the machinery of government into a performance-driven engine, one that measures success, not by activity, but by results. And we are leading from the highest office. We are leading from the highest office with humility and courage. And soon we'll introduce the entire country to our office. Right, Marcy? We will introduce our entire country to my office. And we will make my office accessible to the entire country by the palms of your hands. So today is much bigger than this launch. And many people out there, the cynics, the naysayers, will say, what are you trying? So let's just, for completeness, speak a bit about who are those who have embraced the Coursera platform and the Coursera model. Across the world, and these are countries many people here point to, from Singapore to Finland, from Estonia to the United Kingdom, the most advanced public services are training their workforces in artificial intelligence, data management, cyber security, and digital communication using Coursera. Coursera connects you directly to world-class universities and companies, from Google to Yale, from IBM to Stanford. The same courses used to train professionals in the United States, Singapore, and Finland are now free to every Guyanese citizen. You're not just learning for a local job. You're preparing for global opportunity. You're ensuring that Guyana's public service is not only efficient and responsive locally, but globally benchmarked, and that is important. Now, What is technology? I have recently defined technology as a way of life. And I've decided to define technology as a way of life because technology is ever-changing. Technology is not rigid. Technology requires adaptability if you're going to be successful. So technology is a way of life, and AI and digitization are just various components of that way of life. So understand, feel, and appreciate the impact of technology. The new world. In the new world, we'll have to eat, breathe, sleep, walk technology. You know, I see Adele up there, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Legal Affairs. She will tell you that even in churches today, Sundays you would see those who go to church with the Bible and the hymn book in their hands going to church. You know somebody's going to church. Today, you go into the church, the hymns are digitally there. As the pastor gives the sermon, the verses from the Bible is digitally appearing on a screen. Is where the world is going. It's the way of life. It's the way of life. You know, during Dr. Vindi would tell you, in her religious community too. Years ago, you had all the old bhajan books going to temple. Now you have a smartphone in front, and you don't only have the words, but you have the notes and everything to help you. The imam up there, the brother up there will tell you that during Ramadan now, you don't have to walk with the Quran, they walk with your phone. And it reminds you also. That is how the world is changing. But why is this important? This is important for us to be competitive. If we are to be successful, we have to learn to be competitive. Visitors' experience is not only about the tourism product. Visitors' experience begins from the time they apply for a visa to your country. And if when they apply for that visa, the process is simple, and the process delivers efficiently, their experience of that country begins. And sometimes we are stuck in our ways. So we had a team, and I like to give our own example, who recently came to Guyana. And they said, they were like, wow, they came through the digital gates. I don't know if you guys came through the digital gates. And they said they felt like they were in Singapore. And then one of them needed a visa. And the staff directed them to a paper-based system where they had to apply for the visa, wait, pay $5,000 at the cashier, and come back with a paper receipt. That is the incompleteness we have to resolve. When we digitize, the entire process flow must be done. And that is the work of this ministry. We don't want half-baked solutions. It must be a seamless process. For a matter of fact, the process now enables us. We were one of the first, you know, last year? Was it last year? Yes, I think it was last year in my All Year's Night address. I said that within 1 month, we must fill up the form, on the immigration form, within 1 month. For 3 years, we've been chasing this. Couldn't be done. I said within 1 month. 1 month after, we were filling up the immigration forms online to come into the country. So, same thing. At the same time, if you require a visa, you fill up it at the same time, online. So by the time you come, you check in, it's gone. And the security systems can back the digital platform easily. So you identify risk in a smarter way. So if our tourism, I'm just using small examples, is to be competitive, this digital platform is what helped that competitiveness. If someone Kioma can go online, a company, and research all our labor laws. Not only research it, but then examine case studies. And not stop there. Have an artificial AI backbone that generate answers to questions. Imagine, not based on someone's mood. You go into, you have the holograms now, right? You go into the Georgetown Hospital. You ask the questions. It doesn't change at the time of the day or whether you're hungry or the mood you're in. You have one consistent level of service driven on an AI backbone. I always say in the banking system, when you're new to the bank, you just joined the bank, where do they put you? It happens at finance. Where do they put you? The newest person in the bank, with the least experience, they're the front line. They're the first person communicating with the customer. They're the tellers. Am I not right? In government, what do? You put them at the counter. Right? This is what we call it. We put them at the counter. But technology helps us to bridge that gap. Because you could now put them with a technological platform, with the tools that would help them to be successful. And our permanent secretaries who are not delivering on time in information set that is required, because I asked for some information last Friday, 2 permanent secretaries have not submitted as yet. You'll hear from me later today. You have a responsibility to make the system work. You have a responsibility to make it work. Information safeguards. Information safeguards. And lockdown destroys system. We are building accountability at every level. Human capital development. None of what we want to achieve, can be achieved without human capital development. At the level of the presidency, any level, if you remain rigid in your current position, your current learning foundation, you will not be successful. You will think you're successful, but you don't understand what additional success you can achieve. That is why every public servant must go on to the system and learn. Learn the new tools to make your work easier. Go on the system. You know that we're going to AI, digitization. Embrace it. Understand that this is now part of your future. No longer you must say, man, I'm too old for this now. Next 10 years I retire and I never go and learn about this AI and digitization and these things. Leave that for them youngsters. No. The world is changing at such a pace that there soon will be nothing called too old. Nothing. If you look at, if I give my own grandmother example at 92, they applied themselves to basic technology. But at that age, they're enjoying the joys of still living because technology is offering them a support, a form of companionship, a form of satisfaction that gives meaning to life, that gives them confidence, that gives them independence. That is what I'm telling you. You add value to your own lives. You keep yourself relevant. You keep yourself up to the time. And that's important. We age rapidly when we fail to remain relevant. That's my opinion. We age rapidly when we fail to remain relevant. That is why even if I got to hop and play cricket, I still play cricket. I feel relevant to the game. It doesn't matter if you hold the end for an over, but you remain relevant. And that is what life is about. Life is about how do we maintain our relevance on earth? How do we maintain our relevance in the organization? Imagine your supervisor. Every time your supervisor see you coming, they see a solution. They see something optimistic. Rather than seeing someone coming with 10 files and 20 complaints. Just imagine the change. And don't be afraid to push your ideas. When you go on these programs and you learn, do a short paper and send it to your supervisor. Send it to your permanent secretaries. I just came off this course. These are some of the things I've learned and some of the things I think we can do better. And send it to them. And leaders must be able to bring their talent together. The best of leaders are those who know where their talent resides and how to utilize that talent. The worst of leaders are those who are afraid of talent. If you're afraid of talent, you're not a leader. You're an occupier of space. Let the talent come true. Let the talent rise. Leaders must blossom that talent. They must nurture it. They must fertilize it. Talent would not displace you. Talent enhances you. So, for all the managers and supervisors, we must embrace what true leadership is. That is talent development. And we must nurture it. We must not be afraid of it. Because talent will prepare you to deal with any room that you go into. So, human capital development is a key aspect of our investment. Building accountability. We have to have a public service where accountability is not an option, but norm. Norm. You have to support system development. We are moving at a rapid pace at digitizing the system, integrating the system. So if you're going to be part of this system, you have to be completely integrated. Driving efficiency. Reducing the cost of transactions within government and also with the stakeholders. If someone got to come to town to process their pension, I must go to Ministry of Finance, to the Accountant General Department, to the Auditor General Department, to NIS, then some record is not there. You can come back next week, come back the other week, come back the other week, come back the other week. You lose money, you lose time, you lose efficiency, you lose productivity, and you create frustration. So I've given the Minister of Finance a direction that within 8 months, NIS must be fully, the records must be fully digitized. the Minister of Public Service knows that his entire human resource information system, the entire public service, within 5 months, all the records, your files, your personal files, everything must be completely digitized within 5 months. Every single time you have a training, every single time you have an improvement in your training, your educational standing, any ministry, any leader in the public service can search across the public service and identify what talent is where. So we can have cross use of that talent. And it's easy. It sounds difficult. If we have in every ministry 10 persons who are experienced in digitizing documents, then in the public service we already have about 300 persons who are experienced in digitizing documents. Bring all 300 of them in a projectized way and let us clean the system up. We have to, we have no other choice. We have absolutely no other choice. So support for system development, driving efficiency, reducing the cost of transaction, enhancing productivity, integrating and processing streamlines. What do I mean? Policies are living things. Every policy has a life. There's life about policy. The system must allow citizens to experience and feel the policy in their homes. And that is what I mean by integrating and streamlining our policies in this process. PALM-driven service delivery. Every citizen must be able to access service, and we must be able to deliver service with a device. So a permanent secretary don't have to tell me or a minister that they're out of town. PALM-driven delivery. Population with their device having access, being integrated into the system. So it's a PALM-driven service delivery. It's about leapfrogging Guyana ahead of time and ahead of the competition. And let me say this. I believe the time has come for us to relook at the system and incentivize the system. The system must be incentivized. Where there is delivery, there must be a different system. There must be a different system of acknowledging that delivery. Where there is slothfulness, the system must identify that also. This new age that Coursera platform is going to help us to advance to will remove biases in the system, improve customer satisfaction, enhance reliability, and advance equity. It will change the mindset of people, and to achieve it, we also need changing mindset. Finally, it will lead us to the digital economy. A digital economy that will back tourism, agriculture, manufacturing, services, and infrastructure. Everything digitally integrated. Our infrastructure will be digitally managed, digitally assessed, and we are already investing in the tools for all of this. In the Ministry of Agriculture, if within 4 months the system is not activated, and we have now put Dale, Dean Ryan there, one of the person. Where is he? He's digitally unavailable. In 4 months, the farmers must be able to use the tool we've been investing in to access education in the field, to access real-time information in the field, to access weather in the field, to access extension support in the field, and to access technology in the field. Minister Zulfikar has been pushing this, and we have to, 4 months, the Center of Excellence must be totally integrated. So, we can't sit by idly anymore. The Ministry of Housing, and we have trained every single local entity, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, on the single window approval system. And yet there is resistance. There is resistance because we have found something deep. So they have 2 months to ensure that the single window is working not only optimally, but as was designed. And if it doesn't happen, then people may have other priorities that they have an interest in. And we'll give them a chance to explore the other priorities. When I said we have 5 years to do 10 years' work, I was not joking. We have to get it done. There's no other choice. You may be upset with me today, but 10 years, 15 years from now, when you're in the system and seeing it, you will say, God, well, I hope a link far along. You will say, God continue to bless him, or God bless his soul, whichever one. So, I want to say this morning that this is bigger than a training program or a course or a diploma or a certificate. This is about our future. This is about the direction that we must go in. And this is about building our one Guyana stronger, closer, more unified, and better than ever before. I thank you.
So thank you very much, Mr. President, allowing you to be re-energized with a sip of coffee, and then I'll invite you once more to stand as we make a presentation of the award that the VP mentioned about earlier. This is the presentation of the award from Coursera to the government of Guyana in recognition of outstanding work in talent transformation, and President shared all of that with us a moment ago. Guyana competed with other governments looking at enrollment in terms of persons signing on for the various courses, its impact, scope as part of the criteria. And so now Mr. Zach Rule, Vice President of Coursera, is going to present to both President and Minister this award.
If I may ask for 3 of the youngest public servants, 2 of which must be women, to come forward and join us on receiving the award.
I would have expected everybody to stand at that particular requirement. So just glance around quickly, and if we can have 2 of our youngest public servants and a gentleman to join
3.
President. 3.
You young? You gotta come with me and play cricket. Come down.
So the inscription on the award says Coursera Talent Transformation Award 2025, Guyana Government, Ministry of Public Service. So Zach will now present in a very symbolic way 3 of our public servants, 2 being women, 1 being a young man. representative, of course, of all public servants across the length and breadth of Guyana. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at the end of our program at this time. It has been an inspiring as well as a moment of awakening in some ways, having just heard that very firm delivery from our leader. But this brings us to the close of the launching of this public service upskilling platform. As we said earlier, for those who are interested in registering or just navigating the platform, there is the Coursera help desk just as soon as you head downstairs. To everyone, well, to Coursera, thank you for your continued partnership. To all of you, our colleague public servants, your growth fuels Guyana's growth. So please, let's continue the very important work that we've got to do. And to those who are present and to those who've been online for this launching today, thank you for being with us on behalf of the Ministry of Public Service, Government Efficiency and Implementation. Let's have a pleasant remainder of this Monday, everyone, as we continue to use learning and innovation to deliver better service to the people of Guyana. Thank you, everyone.